Farm channel, it's Claudette with you here today, and as promised last week I am going to do the tutorial for one of the notebook covers that I had shown you guys on the blog post last Monday. It's going to be a really quick and simple, hopefully it's simple for you guys, tutorial. Now keep in mind I will be using Photoshop. You can use this in Photoshop, or you could do the same thing in Photoshop Elements. However, I'm not quite sure you can do this in Word or Pages, but I will play around with them to see if you can get the same thing on either one of those software. I just don't really think it is, because it wasn't meant to be a photo editing software. So, you know, I apologize if I can't do it that way, but I'll figure something out. I will also probably do a video using physical stamps on how you can do it. It's not going to be exactly the same, because clearly with physical stamps you can't enlarge them the way you can with digital stamps, and that is why I'm such an advocate on using digital products, because you can do so many different things with them and it's just so much fun to play with. So that's why I just absolutely love playing with digital stamps. Don't get me wrong, I still love regular stamps, but I have more versatility with digital stamps. So let's just get right into the video. I went ahead and opened up my project. I'm using Photoshop. Like I said, I believe this can be done in Elements. There's not going to be that many advanced techniques that I will be doing, so I believe you can accomplish this in Elements as well. I'm going to do the Happy Planner Classic, half-size classic notebook. I don't know if that's what it's called, the slim notebooks. Anyways, the measurement for the cover is, I believe it's 4 3/4 by 9 1/2. Let me just double check that. I believe that's what it is. 4 3/4 by 9 1/2. Yep. Okay, so I am going to start with my background paper. And I will list everything that I use in the description box down below, so make sure to check that out if you want to see any of the things I use, like pattern paper and which stamp sets I use. Alright, so I'm going to use this. This one is by Crate Paper, I think. I just went ahead and dragged and dropped it. I'm going to just enlarge it by using one of these anchor points. I like the black to be touching the top and bottom, and this is going to be my border, so I don't really need that much of it. This is where I will be punching in the holes to fit into my planner, my Happy Planner, and you know how they work on a disc system. I suppose you can do this too if you have a 3-ring binder, if you want to create your own, but I like to have a border normally to identify that that's where I'm going to punch the holes. You don't have to, but I do also like the looks of it, so I got this floral pattern paper. I went ahead and enlarged it, and then I just added it onto the rest of my layout. So that's the base of the layout. Okay, and then now we're going to go into start building this with the digital stamps. Now normally when I do this, I do have my color or my images pre-colored, but I wanted to show you how to color them in Photoshop. There's several different ways. You could just color it really simple, and then you can get into really coloring it with the brush tool and getting a lot of shades in and blending, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I hope that this is going to be a really cool tip for you guys, that you can see how to color these digital images if you don't have the time and you want to play around with Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. So let me do that. So I'm going to use the Chore Day Anya Girl number 1. I'm going to go ahead and drag it, and then I'm going to resize it. So you just use any of the anchor points to resize it, and this is a little too big for me. So I think this is pretty good. Double click that. Now keep in mind I dragged it from the folder. Usually when you drag an image from the folder, it is going to be classified as a smart object. And why is that important is because when you start coloring or messing around with the image, you'll get a little screen saying this is a smart object. Just hit OK. And Sorry about that. Just hit OK when you see that, and then it will turn it into a regular PNG file or regular image on your Photoshop dashboard. When you open it up in Photoshop and then drag it within Photoshop, it will not be a smart object. It's just when you drag it in from like Bridge or a folder, that's what happens. I don't know if this always happens, but it is in my case. So anyways, okay, I'm going to show you why that's important, because there's going to be a message that pops up. You're just going to hit OK, but I wanted you to understand why that happens. Okay, so this is going to be like my things to do notebook. So it's going to be like my house cleaning, my the works I have to do, like answering emails, making an appointment, just all kinds of stuff, because in my planner there's not that much room, and sometimes I have a lot of notes that I need to put in it that I just want it specifically for those purposes. So I thought Chore Day Anya 1 is a really cute one. You could also use Chore Day Anya 2, which I think is absolutely adorable as well, but let's just go ahead and go with this one. Actually no, because I already have her, so I'll go ahead and use this cutie right here. Drag. Okay, it's just a little too big. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing I want is I want her to have the spray bottle in her hand. So let's just make that size. Double click once you're happy, and then let's do the wash rag. I want it a little bit big. Put that in her other hand and double click. Well, let me just show you this. Okay, so you saw how I dragged and drop, and you could see this right here that identifies smart object. I'm gonna delete this because I want to show you how it's like if you were to open it up in Photoshop. So this is, you opened it in Photoshop. I'm gonna just drag this there, drag it out, and then do the exact same thing. And right here, this is the rag. It doesn't have the smart object on it. Okay, why I say that is because when you color it, this is what happens. So let's say I want to, when you color it, I like to choose colors from the background. So that's why I use the eyedropper tool, and then I pick colors from it. So I want it to be a light green, and then you could also go over here to the swatches right there and pick your color. But I like I said, I like to go based off of the designer paper. So once I do that, I get the paint bucket tool, click on that, and make sure you're on the layer that you want to color. So I want to color the rag. So click on there, and there you go. I actually think that's a little too dark. So there you go. So that's how you color. Now, if I was to do that with a spray bottle, which I clicked right here, you see how it has a little, it's a circle with a slash through it. That identifies that it's, or it says this is a smart object, must be raster size before proceeding, yada yada yada. Just hit OK. So now it's just like the rag layer. So we will color that. I want to color it this light green bluish color. So I picked the color. I went to my paint bucket, and then I'm going to color that part. I want to color the handle different, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my eyedrop tool, and then I want to get it to this not super dark red, but a lighter red. Go to my bucket, paint bucket, and then just color. Make sure you're within the lines of where you want to color, otherwise it will color everything else. So if I was to do that, there you go. So make sure you're within the lines of where you want to color. All right, before I color Anya, I want to add a title. So I'm going to go to the type tool, and then I'm going to type in things to do, and well, that's fine. I want to kind of have it over her head, like bend over her head. What is it? Arch over her head, like a circle. So go up to the type, up here a type, and then go to warp text. And then you could select whatever look you're going for. I'm gonna just go for this one right here, and there you see it right there, but I find it's just a little too arched for me. So I'm gonna do about 40% and hit OK. Click the move, get the move tool, bring it down just about that much. And then let's go back to coloring Anya. So I'm gonna do a dark brown. Let's click on the eyedrop tool. Let me go look for, maybe that's good. Okay, and then get the paintbrush tool. And remember, you're going to get a circle with a slash through it because this is a smart object because I dragged it from the folder. So just go ahead and click it. You get this pop-up message. Just hit OK. And then now you could color. And you can see how that little section right there is not fully colored. Just go ahead and click in it. Sometimes you'd have to zoom in for you to get that spot. So I'm going to click it right there. Oops. Okay, that's just too small for your eyes to see when you print it out. All right, so I got her hair done. So now I want to color, let's do her skin. It's not going to be really exact because that will take me forever and I'm sure you don't want to watch that. So go ahead. I picked the color. I went to this color right here. Click on her face, her ears, neck, arms, and legs. And there you have it. And then now I want to color her headband. So I'm going to pick this blue. And then paint bucket. And there you go. And then we're gonna do her clothes, eyedropper. Let's go for a light pink. Paint tool. There you go. And then I want her to have this color pants. So you go once again to the paint bucket tool. And then I want to go a little lighter for the folded area. And then maybe a little bit more lighter. And there you go. And there you have it. Simple, super easy. I absolutely love how easy this is. Let's give her a little bit of a blush. Let's do that. I'm going to get the brush tool and I need to pick one. So I like to use general brushes, like a soft rounded one, and then enlarge. Let's go there and there. Well, that's too purplish. So let's see, right here. Let's do that again. And then we could erase. Oops. I find it a little too dark, so I'm just going to change the opacity to about that much. And there you go. Super easy, right? So, I hope I opened up some doors to play around with your photo editing software. I believe you can use this in other photo editing software, especially if they have like the layer system. I believe you can, because when prior to me using Photoshop way back when, I remember doing the layer system as well. So I think you can, hopefully you can. But this is a really fun way to use your digital stamps to color them. It really took no time whatsoever. So I hope that, you know, you're gonna go and give it a try after you watch this video. So the next step, I'm going to show you how I punch the holes and put it all together. All right. So once I print it out, as you can see, I didn't laminate this one because I'm not happy with the color of the way her skin tone is. This is the one I made previously, and I'm just going to show you how I punch the holes. If you don't have the Happy Planner hole puncher, I personally don't really like it. It can't cut through laminate as well as you'd like it to, and I just prefer the way I'm going to show you in just a minute. So this is how I print it. I go ahead and print it on an 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. So the thing about my previous cover is I keep forgetting to do the corner rounders, and I don't like the way it looks because I've rounded the corners on the laminate part, but I did not do it on the actual cover. So I'm going to do that now with my, you don't have to, but I do like the look of it, so I'm going to just use my We Are Memory Keeper Crop-A-Dile corner cutter, and I'm going to use the 1/4 and just go around all 4 sides. And then I'm going to run this into my laminator, but I'm not going to do that in this video because, like I said, I don't like the way her skin came out. I'll make another one, and if anybody wants it, let me know. So what I normally do when I cut this, I laminate it and leave probably like a 1/4 inch of the laminate part. So this is going to look a little off because it's not laminated, but this is pretty much the gist of how you create it. Once you laminate it, you leave a little bit of room on the left side so that you have the space. So pretend I have it laminated, and then what I do is I take my previous cover, and then I like to, let's see, I like to put them together, and then I will go ahead and do the punching. So what I do is I mark it. So let's see, I'm going to mark it with my pencil. Now if I had it laminated, I would mark it with like this type of pen, these Papermate Flair pens, and then you could just wipe it off. Plastic, it's easy to do since it is laminated and it'll come right off. So I take my pencil or my pen, and then I just make these little round marks around the areas. Now, I've noticed in the past I haven't been straight at all. So some of my notebook lines are a bit jagged, and I never thought of doing this until now. So what I do is I take my T-square, not T-square, what is this called? T-ruler? Not sure what exactly is the name. And I just basically start from the top and then make sure it's aligned, and then go ahead and just make a line. And then you can see, it actually doesn't look. So I take this and make it straight, and then I just do that. So then once I'm done, I just take my, what is it called? Crop-A-Dile, longest time. And then I go to each section that has that little half circle, and then I cut and make sure I'm within the line. Okay, and then once I'm done with that, I just take my scissors and I cut 2 lines like so. See that? And then I do it for the rest of them. Okay, so once that's done, you just take your notebook and then you attach it onto the notebook, and there you have it. Now it looks off because it didn't have the laminator in enough room to fit the full size of the notebook. But yeah, I like how it turned out besides the skin tone. But that's really it. That's all you really need to do as far as cutting it and making it work. You don't need the Happy Planner, what do you call this? Happy Planner punch, because you could just do it that way, and I find it easier when it comes to doing my cover. The paper, you can use it if you have it, but it's easy with paper, but not with something as thick as this. So yeah, that's it. I can't wait to see you guys start creating your own notebook covers. Yeah. So tag us and let us know if you created a notebook cover using this technique, and I would love to see it. I'd love to see ideas from all you guys, because you guys are really super creative, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and let us know if you want more of this. I will probably try to do one using the regular physical stamps, but it probably won't be this size Happy Planner. I might do a mini one, we'll see. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and share this video, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.